Okay, the next steps that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and delete this, and we're going to get into more detail on how to manipulate windows, doors, and how to draw things in using guidelines and stuff. So let's go to the 3D view, press F3. Let's just go through and delete all these walls, and that will delete the windows that are in there, delete the floor, and delete everything. And we're going to start new. So let's go back to the 2D view, F2, and make sure you're on the first floor. Okay, make sure you're on the first floor. So just come over here, double click it. We don't want to be drawing on the second floor, so we'll get on the first floor here. We're going to go ahead and remember you want to keep everything inside of this. Okay, all right, so we're going to go ahead and go to settings dialog. Let's just make sure that we have the wall brick. Not sure where you're at. Do that one there. This is where you can set different things, like the wall top. Does it go to the second floor or what? Or is it not linked? We'll just keep it there. It usually defaults to that, but you can double check that. Make sure you're on the composite, and then we're using that. Was it fifth one down? Wall brick 2x4, 9¼ inches wide is how wide the wall is. Okay. Then go to OK, and then as we do this, start drawing this, we want the pivot. Remember where it pivots right there. I'll just zoom in on it. That's the outside wall. That's where the brick's going to be. If you flip it, I'm going to pivot it, then that's where the brick will be. And if we start drawing around like this, then the brick will be on the inside. We don't want that. Okay. So make sure, oops. All right. So I'll zoom out. Let's just draw this wall. Make sure it's pivot. Press P or C, one of the two, to get it so it's on the outside. And let's do this one. Make sure it's straight, 90 degrees. And go ahead and type in, let's keep it equal numbers. Whenever you do the exterior walls, you always want to do them in 1 foot increments. So we'll do 40 foot for this. Enter. We'll go straight down. Notice it'll show it, lined up. Let's go down 30 feet. And we'll come over to here. It should show us where that matches with it. And set a point there. And then come up here, and the hammer will put it in. Oh, dang. Looks like, well, it actually works out pretty good. Look, the brick's on the inside. I don't know what I did. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. So if it is wrong, then flip this, select them all, and then just click this, and it'll flip it. I wasn't even paying attention. I was on the inside face. So put that on the outside face, okay, and then you flip these, and it flips it. So you can, let's say you accidentally did one, you just flip it and flip it going around the other way, flip it back. Okay, that was my fault. I should have made sure of that. Anyway, so we've got the walls there. Okay, let's go back into here. Now let's say we want to do some interior walls. Okay, and we want to make sure that they're a certain distance away. Let's say because we're putting a tub in that it needs to be a X amount of distance away. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these things called guidelines. If you notice those little red dashes all the way around here, okay, those are what we call guidelines, and we can put those wherever we want. So for example, I'm going to just click this one, and then I can sit here and put this wherever I want. So let's say from the outside wall, or let's say the inside wall here. Let's say I want to go over. So I set that point there. I want to go over, let's say 6 foot. So what I do is I place it there, and then put my cursor on it, and this little orange circle will come up. You drag it, and you can move it in whatever direction you want. And then if you want to go a certain distance, like we said, let's go 8 foot, you just type in 8 foot and then enter. And then that's 8 foot away. Okay. So then that gives you a guideline. Let's say that's where we wanted the middle of that window to be. Okay. Because we got to put the windows in. We're not going to put them in at different, we got to put them like, okay, 8 foot away from this wall, 4 foot to the next one. You just can't put them in there and have them at odd numbers. Okay, so let's say we want to do a wall there. Okay, so this one we want to do an interior wall. So this one's a little bit different. Okay, so what we can do is we can just come up here, and what we're looking for is this one right here, third from the bottom. Wall wood gypsum 4 3/4. That's an interior wall, normal interior wall. Then what we do is, we can have it, whatever, rotate on whatever face we want, inside, outside face, whatever. Because on the inside, it doesn't matter so much. So I'm just going to set a point right there. You'll see a little X showing you right on that. And if that's the correct direction you want, if it isn't, press P and pivot it. If you want it the other way. And then you decide how far down you're going to go. Let's say this one goes down 10 feet. So you go down 10 feet. Now let's say you want to go over to here. So all you have to do is just make sure it gives you that little perpendicular indicator. And then put it in. And then if you either right mouse click, go to OK. Or if you just double click there, set another point there, it'll draw it in. Okay. So that's guidelines. So let's do another one. Let's say from this wall here, we want the next wall to be, let's say, 12 feet, 6 inches. So 12-6. That in there, and I go to the wall tool, and I go ahead and start drawing right there. Okay, and if that's where I want it, now let's say I want to make it even with that, and I know the distance, but let's say I want to line it up with that. Okay, so what you can do is you can put your cursor over here, and a little circle will come up, and what that does is it gives you a reference to go from, and then you can move it over to here, and then double click there. We'll put it in there for you. Okay. Now notice that these walls here are set at 9 foot because that's what we set the ceiling height at, and they're stopping at the second floor. Okay. So now we can do that. Now let's say, okay, let's do another guideline. Let's put one over here and let's go from the outside wall. Say we want a door certain distance. Let's say 9 foot, 9-6. I want a door there. Now, that's an exterior door, so because it's on the exterior wall, so make sure it's 3 foot right here. And we're just going to put one in, and we want the center of it to be right at that distance. So we put that in. Doors always swing into the house or into the room that you're going into. So put that in there. So let's go to the 3D view. All right. So let's rotate this around. Kind of a plain Jane door. So what we do is come up here to settings dialog. And we can choose different types of doors. There's all kinds of doors, wood entrance doors, which that one is. Let's put one with the side light. You can change the size of this and everything. And there's other kind of settings. You can change what this door looks like to different panels, things like that. You can put it at like a prairie style panel. Okay. You can do different things there. And then there's other types of things that you can change in here. A lot of it you're not going to worry too much about other than changing, the door leaf, what it is. That's really about the only thing that you're going to change other than nominal size and stuff. But let's leave it at that. And then here, there's our door. Okay. Let's go back to the 2D view. Let's say we want to do another, let's say a window from the outside wall here. We want to go down, let's say 11 inches, 11-6. We put a window there. To go to the window tool, we can, the settings dialog, we can change this window. If you come up here, you can change to a 3D view so you can see what the window looks like. You can rotate it around, do different things, change the different types of, what kind of framing and sash and stuff that you want. So you can kind of go through this. And like here on the sash, maybe we want this, this right here. Okay, or this one, simple that. Okay. So there's different things that you can choose. So we're just going to leave it at that. We can change the different types of windows. This is a double hung. You can do if we look up here, there's casement windows, awning windows, bay windows. There's all kinds of windows. Okay, so we'll just leave it at this one and put it. Let's change the width of it. You can change the width of it right up here. Let's go. Let's make it a little bit wider. 3-6. A little bit taller. Let's go 6 foot. And we put this in here, right in the center there. And this way, it doesn't matter which way you go, just as long as you have the sun on the outside. Let's take a look at this. And then you've got your window there. Okay. So these guidelines are what you use to put in and put things a certain distance away. Okay. You don't just put them in. So, you make sure you put them at a certain distance. So let's say, for example, like say we need to put a guideline, let's say right here. And let's say we want a door into this room. Let's go 3 foot. We want the door to be really close to this. Remember? Now these are interior doors, so you got to change these to 2-6, 2'6". And you're probably going to want to change them to an interior door. Okay. So you go to wood doors, interior. Let's just go a simple one here. Now we can change, what style we want. This is probably don't want a glass or anything, so let's just do one of these. And you can change that however you want. And we'll go to OK. Oh, wait, forgot to change that 2-6. And we're going to put this so it's in the middle. So the anchor point, I haven't shown you this, but the anchor point usually defaults to center, but you can do it to the sides, but usually it's to the center. So we'll put this one. Now this one doesn't matter where the outside is because it's on the inside. It's on the inside of the house. So you can do whatever. But then you always want that to go up against the wall. Now you notice that one probably should be down a little bit. So if you want to select the door, remember if you can't select something, press tab. You usually go to one of the corners and you can usually select the door and it'll come up door. And if you want to move that down, you just click it and this pet palette will come up. And it usually defaults to move. You can rotate it if you want, do some of these other things, multiply. But then let's take it down, let's say about 10 inches. I'm just looking at that distance right there. So go 10 inches. Make sure you do the inch mark. Okay. And there you have that, placed a little bit better, but you can move it down a little bit more, maybe 2 inches, whatever. Okay. So you can move it that way, but try to make sure that they're in even numbers. Okay. So you can put, the windows in, and the doors and the walls by using the guidelines. And you want to use those. Up here, if you want to clear out those guidelines, just go to remove all guidelines, or if you want to erase a certain one, you can just erase it, erase whatever. But usually we just, there we go, cancel. Just remove all guidelines, because after a while you just get a bunch of that stuff in there you want to get rid of. Also up here, if you're, let's say, drawing a wall, you come up here, see that little, when you come near it, it gives you that little mark right there. That's the halfway point on that wall. Well, that is up here at this snap right here. These are snaps. You get half, you can divide it into 3 divisions. You can do every 3 foot. So let's do this. Let's put this right there at 3 foot and what was it? 3 3/8. Well, we're going to change that. So go to set snap point values and that distance. We're going to change that to, let's go 3 foot. Okay. Go to OK. And now when we bring our cursor up here and we get close to the outside wall, see it'll put these little markings on here, like every 3 foot. Okay. So like you could put, like say you wanted your window here. Let's do a window. 9 foot up, you can just come here right to the middle of that and put that in there. Whoops, I can get it there. And see how it snaps, gives you a little check mark. And then you put that window in there. So that comes in handy sometimes if you know you want a certain distance away. You can do those distances and change that from that point right there. And the divisions, like if you want to divide this up into 3 equal spots, you put a window. Let's say we want to put a window here along here. Let's say 6 of them equally spaced. So what we do is we change this to divisions. And I'm not saying this is what you would use it for, but then what you do is you come up on here. Oops. Yeah, got it. Put it at divisions, and then you can see the little marks on there. And what you can do is just put them at each one of those marks. Okay. So anyway, you can do that. There's a number of ways you could do that too. So I don't use that much. I'll use this or half, or I'll just use the guidelines. So those kind of work as guidelines. Again, if you draw something and it doesn't give you the measurements and stuff, that's the tracker here. You gotta make sure that's on. Okay. But those are, how you can put in walls and windows and doors at a certain distance, not just throw them in there. You have to put them at a certain distance. And usually what you do is everything goes from the outside wall. So for example, like if I wanted this wall right here, it would go from the outside wall. So what I would do is put a guideline there and use it there, and then you tell it to be a certain distance from that wall. But all the dimensions go from the very outside wall. Okay. Anyway, that's another one, how to put windows and doors and walls in using certain measurements and guidelines and snap guides and things like that.